Hello everyone, my name is Julissa Sanchez and I'm 25 years old and I'm currently working in a private school in the city of Monteria, Colombia. I work with first graders from 6 to 7 years old and I'm going to present a lesson focused on the consonant sounds V in English. This sound is often a challenge for my students and is confused with B by Spanish speaking children, right? Since we don't differentiate between the two in our native language. The objective of this lesson is identify, produce, and differentiate the V sound from the B sounds through play and sensorial activities. Why I choose this? I think that it's absolutely important to teach these sounds even at an early age for several reasons. First, accurate pronunciations help children develop clear and effective communication skills. When the learner consistently confused with v sound and b sound, it can lead to misunderstanding, right? For example, confusing van with ban or vet with vet and can change also the meaning of a sentences completely. Um, Also, if students aren't exposed to the correct pronunciation early, the incorrect habits may fossilize, right? And meaning it becomes harder to correct later on. I think also that the pronunciation is directly connected to listening skills. If students don't learn to differentiate between similar sounds like v and b, their listening comprehension may also be affected, right? They may not recognize certain words when they hear them in different contexts. Okay, now I'm going to show you the slides with which I am going to work with them, with my students, to improve this difficulty with them. Okay, like a warm up, students will stand up, right? And they are walking around the classroom waving their hands to simulate flying, okay? At the same time, they will make the sound of bees, like for 3 or 4 minutes. Then they should make the sounds and sitting down making the sound of bursting bubbles like for 2 or 3 more minutes and they gonna sit down. Okay, after this I ask them to analyze the pictures and look at how each one of them is written. And then they will start to tell me like, okay, miss, they are written with a different words and that the leads are placed differently too. And then I will ask them to place their hand on their throat, right, and pronounce those words, explaining that in the first one they must place their lips together and make the sound B. And with the second one, the teeth go behind the lips and they must vibrate, right? Like v, v, v. And they are going to pronounce the words like best, right? Best, vest. Um, they are gonna notice that in the second, the teeth go behind the lips and they must vibrate, right? And in this way, they will notice the difference between them. Okay, after having explaining to them the way in which the words are pronounced correctly, I will show them a video about the sound of these two words. Okay, in the video are mentioned several objects or several words that start with the same word, where they must listen and then repeat each one of the words. Okay, after watching the video, we will do a small activity where they will listen to the sound of each with each words, and with their hands they are make a tick to indicate that it sounds, or join their fingers together to make an across and say that it doesn't the sound. This is a very joyful activity that I've made in the classroom, and it's when I say something, they are made with their feet, with their hands, like in this way. It's a tick for them, you know. If they put their fingers together, it's an across, right? So if I say the word violin, they need to tick. If I say bass, they put an across. Vase, tick. Ball, across. Vegetable, tick. Okay. Okay, then to practice, the students will do two readings, okay? Those two readings with the v sounds and b sounds. I will call each student to come to the front and read from the board, okay? Because I project the images. Um, okay, they are gonna read a sentence from the word, applying what they have learned and the correct pronunciation, right? And at the same time, they can practice a new vocabulary. And finally, the students will complete with the letters V and B as appropriate, where they must first listen to the sentence that I will read them to them, and then complete it on their own as a final review. Okay. Okay, I think that including this lesson, I applied the four language skills in a meaningful and age appropriate way. Thank you so much.